First of all, thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to ask you to tell me about your band. I was aware of your band around 2015. Your album was one of my best this year, I can say.
Thank you very much.
And so I searched for your band, and I learned that the band is very old. It's around the 88.
Yes.
Yeah, so I want to tell me a brief history of the band, and then we can discuss from your latest album.
Yes, sure. Well, the band was formed actually before 88. I think it was formed already in 84 or 85 by the founding members Peter Furulid, Torbjörn something, Tommy something, and Johnny Hagel. So they made they started up and made some songs, on their own, and we were inspired by the different music acts that were active at that point. So it wasn't just doom in the beginning, but when I joined in '88, they had a few songs that they wanted me to sing on, and so I wrote lyrics and sang on the first demo tape, Anno 1502 or whatever it's called. It's so long ago, so I can't remember now. But so I wrote a couple of songs. Among them was Born with Fear. That is an icon song now for Sorcerer, of course. And we played some live shows in Sweden, but nothing really happened. And we had some changes in the band. We changed the drummer to Ricky Evensand, who's the drummer with us today. And we made a new demo tape in '92, which was a better, all through, better played, better performance. Some years had gone, and we were better, equipped as a band. And we also had a lead guitarist at that point, after a little while there, I was already connected with another band that I rehearsed with. So Sorcerer was something that I did on the side. It wasn't really, we weren't really touring, we weren't really rehearsing or playing. We just wrote music and went into the studio and recorded it. So in '92, '93, something like that, after we did this demo, we disbanded, because Johnny joined Tiamat and I joined other bands. I wanted to go into the more progressive kind of modern metal thing. I wanted to do that, high vocals and difficult songs, and I was going in that direction anyway. But we kept contact. Me and John has been friends since before Sorcerer, so we kept contact, and that's the history of it, really. But when we started back in '88, there weren't any internet or anything, so we actually mailed by the real mail, the cassettes that we copied, and sent them all over. We went to Greece, to all over Europe, to fans, and people sent us money in envelopes, and we packaged the demo tapes and we sent them back. It was a pretty charming that time, those years back then. It was the music business wasn't that big back then, as it is today. It's huge today, and anyone can record a song and send it out on the internet and for people to see. So it was a little bit of different time back then.
Yeah, so fast forward, we come to 2015. You have a record deal with a big label, Metal Blade, from the Shadows of the Inverted Cross. I can say that it was the breakout of a band, Sorcerer. You can reach a lot of people through this big label. And 2015, 17, the Crown of the Fire King. I think this year it was in my 5 top albums. This album was extraordinary, very good. The fans of Tony Martin era Black Sabbath loved it, and I can assure you that era is loved from many fans of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
It was something old but unique in the time that the album came. No one really played that kind of music because I think they think that was outdated. They going all from very technical, all progressive side of the music, but I can tell from the feedback from my friends that we listen that the music with soul can reach people too, and that your music have a soul is a straightforward heavy metal with some epic and doom elements, and it's something that we are missing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can only agree. I mean, we are old, of course. You know, we have the baggage that we've carried with us. You know, from influences from the 70s, 80s, and 90s and onwards. You know, and it's I think Sorcerer today is a mix of you know, the epic doom. We still have some elements of that in our music, but I think we embrace the whole hard rock heavy metal genre really, and we try to do. There's no mistake, which we do heavy music, of course, and it's slow and it's you know, it's melancholic and very, you know, powerful. But we don't see ourselves really today. I think we've progressed and we stepped away from the epic doom genre a little bit. We take one step towards hard rock heavy metal, you know, and we try to blend them in and make a nice mix out of it, you know. It's nothing that we think about. It's just the way it comes out when we write. I mean, if you listen to In the Shadow of the Inverted Cross and the Fire King albums, I mean, they are glued together somehow in the basic sound, but we put in new stuff for each record. We changed a little bit, you know, and try to do something different. And the same with Lamenting of the Innocent now.
Yes, Lamenting of the Innocent I think is more towards the heavy metal, mid-tempo heavy metal side. The Crown of the Fire King was something more epic doom elements. In the Sound of the Inverted Cross was more doomy and epic. So in any album is something different in the proportion of heavy metal, doom and epic. I want to ask you for the production and first of all the Crown of Fire King. The album cover is super. I loved it for the first time. Before I listened to the album, I said that cover is magnificent. And when I heard the album, I heard old music but with a very fresh production. Yeah. That was appealing to my ears because yes, you play old music but with fresh production. That is something different we needed. Some old music but not the same exact thing. You done something yours, something Sorcerer. You listen to that, you can say this is Sorcerer.
Yeah, if you listen to the old cassettes and the CDs from '95, you can hear it has that more traditional sound. You know, it's you know, not totally 100%, but you know, we've grown with music. All of us have played with different bands. You know, Therion, I played with Lion's Share and a bunch of bands. You know, and through the years we learned how to play. There are excellent players in the band, and we also are very critical to how this should sound. You know, we want that heavy, big, fresh, tight, modern sound, but still be airy and you know, atmospheric and you know, dynamic. You know,
yes. Not sterile music like cubes in the line. you have the soul. You have the soul of the music, but with more fresh production.
Yeah, exactly.
That is something that is not something easy to manage. To have a old school vibe, but with fresh production.
No, it's I mean it's something that we fight for, and we put a lot of energy into it. Also, it has nothing to do really with the songwriting. It's more the process when we go into the studio and we work with Ronnie. He's been on the 3 albums we made, the mixing guy, and he really knows what we're looking for and found that recipe. He's part of the Sorcerer sound today, I think, and it will be strange to work with someone else, because I think we've found a recipe for what we do, and we will try to evolve out of it. But you will always, when you put on a Sorcerer record, you will always hear, that clear, big, bombastic sound. It's part of us. It's meant to be like that.
Something smart you've done. I think it is that you can replicate the album in your live sound very good. Yeah. It is very, now the bands do that so much post production of the album that they cannot deliver live. You are a live band that you can hear everything you hear in the album. You can hear in your live performances.
Thank you. Yeah, we try. I mean, we have some choirs and some strings on background tapes, but we try to deliver from the album, and it's a challenge. I'm 52 years old, and I know that people can hear perhaps that I don't do those acrobatic notes anymore. It's not interesting for me. For me, it's the song as a whole that makes the song.
Yes, but the vocal lines is beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe that is. I am in age. I'm 40, and I remember when I was in school that the music was more to give you something to feel. Now I think it's very sterile. The music is sterile. Everything is around technique and to show what you can play, not something beautiful, even if it's something simple.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
The less is more is gone. The 90s is far gone now. But some bands like you and some other bands coming to take this part of feeling.
Yeah.
It's in its nights.
The situation has changed, when I started, you had to have a record deal to be able to go into a studio and record an album. It was very, very costly. I mean, my first album I recorded with Lionshare in '94 cost 25,000 euros, to record. I mean, today you don't see those kind of money, and it's both good and bad, but today you can record an album at your own studio. The technique is so far gone that you can do almost everything. The only thing we record in the studio is the drums today. Everything else is recorded in our own studios at home or at my vocal studio that I have. But so things have changed in that sense, and I think it's good. People can put out their music with very small means. You don't have to have 25,000 euros to go in and record. You can do it for 2,500 perhaps. A record that sounds pretty good. It's the sign of the times, I guess.
So Lamenting of the Innocent is out for the people to grab. It's a fantastic record. Yes, fantastic record. COVID, I think, made it a little difficult for you to go on the road and promote your album. What are your thoughts about that? I'm sure you're gonna postpone the road trip for the promotion. Have you some dates on your mind, or you try to see what gonna happen with COVID?
Yeah, well, the COVID struck down like lightning, you know, in this industry, and everyone is affected. You know, it's a terrible disease, and it has terrible consequences. And it has consequences on Sorcerer too, of course. All the shows we had booked, you know, Sweden Rock Festival, Rock Hard Festival, Pounding Metal in Milan, you know, in Italy, and a lot of shows have been moved up to next year, you know. We hope that we will be able to start, you know, doing some shows in the late fall or winter time. We don't know. It's all depending on how this virus is handled, and if we still have it around. You know, it's impossible to know right now. But last Saturday we had a release party live stream that we put out on YouTube, and Facebook was a disaster, I heard, but YouTube was okay, some latency, but now we've put it down and we put it up on our YouTube channel so people can see it over and over again, and it's synced and everything is okay with the sound. So
yes,
so that was cool. And we have some projects that we're looking at, and if there is no shows, we will surely start writing new stuff, and you know, we will be active. But I don't know if we're going to take the step and do a full-out live show on live stream, but we have some ideas, and we'll see what happens, you know, in the future.
So Anders, thank you very much for your time. I know it's valuable for all of you. Thank you for being a part of my channel. I wish you the best for your band and for you personally. And I think the best is out to come, because I really believe that your band is harmed very big from this COVID, because you were in upward spiral for big things, because it's the third album that you go one step in the people's mind. Yeah. So it's a little bit like set down, but I think the best will come. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it. And the record to come. There's more videos to be released and stuff like that. So yeah, keep the faith, and I really hope that we can come to Greece. We love playing in Greece. So there was some shows on the horizon, but now we don't know yet. Everything's been paused, you know, to next year perhaps. But
we hope to see you again. We hope to see you again and listen live the new songs. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.